students, welcome back to the video series of Python programming. I am your instructor Shweta Yagnik, and today we are going to see dictionary data structure of Python. So the topic that we are going to see today are dictionary introduction, and then we are going to see dictionary methods. So without wasting much time, let's begin. First of all, introduction to dictionary. Now dictionary is an unordered collection of items, okay, and each item are collected inside like a bag where order does not matter. So that is dictionary. The second thing is dictionary are written within curly brackets and they have key and value pairs. Each key is separated from its value by colon, and each item of a dictionary, that is key value pair, are separated from each other by comma. Keys are unique within dictionary, while value may get repeated. The values of a dictionary can be of any type, but the key must be of immutable data type. Access the item of a dictionary, we will use inside a square bracket key. So in order to extract any item, we will use this notation. So here is an example of a dictionary. Purse, dict is used in order to create a dictionary empty. Purse of money, that means purse dictionary with key money is equal to 12. Then we are having purse dictionary and candy items are 3 and tissues are of 75. When I print my dictionary, it will give me money, which is key, separated with its value with colon, and 12. Now this is key value pair, that is money is 12 and separated from next item by comma. So this is how dictionary works. Now if I want to print the purse candy, what is the value of candy, how many items of candy are there in my purse, then it will print like this. So this is how we can extract any of the items of dictionary. In order to manipulate any of the item of dictionary, I can use plus sign. So that is the example given over here, purse, and within purse dictionary, if I want to manipulate or increase the value of candy, I can extract that item using square bracket and plus 2. So that is how we can update the item of a dictionary. Now let us compare two data structures of Python, that is list and dictionary. Both are mutable, means once we have declared the data structure list or dictionary, afterwards we can update it. But the difference is that dictionary use keys to look up the values, while list use indexing. So here is an example of list and dictionary. We have declared over here LST list, then we have appended 21, 183, then we have printed the list. Okay, index of 21 is 0 and index of 183 is 1. If we want to extract first element, we will use index 0, and in case of dictionary, we will be having key and values. So here the key for 182 value is course, while age is the key to indicate to extract 21 value. So if I want to extract age, I'll be using key age, okay, and I can update it also. So next we will see the dictionary membership check. If I want to check whether particular key is a part of dictionary or not, I'll be able to check it with the help of in operator. So this is the example. If I want to check course in my dict, then it will return true because course is valid key of a dictionary, while gender is not a valid key of the defined dictionary. Now we will see some of the methods supported by dictionary. Those methods are clear, that removes all items from the dictionary. Another method is copy, that returns a shallow copy of a dictionary. We will see practically what is the exact meaning of shallow copy. Then we are going to see the from keys, returns a new dictionary with keys from a sequence and values from the value specified. Okay, it defaults to none and it is optional. Now get key and value, this returns a value of a key if the key does not exist inside the dictionary, it will return the value. If value is not specified, which is optional, then it will return none. Now the other method is items, returns a view object that displays list of a given dictionary's key value tuple pair. Keys function will return a view object that displays a list of dictionary's keys, and value will return a view object that displays a list of dictionary's values. So now let us see practically how to use these methods. Let us explore the first method, that is clear. Before that, we are going to define one dictionary called D. In curly brackets, we are having key, and separated with colon, we will be having value for the first key. 2 is the key and its value is string 2, 3 and 3. So this is my dictionary where 3 items are there. That means 3 key value pairs are there. So if I am printing it, it will be shown like this. So now if I will apply clear, D dot clear method, it will remove all the items from the dictionary, and if I now print the dictionary, it will be empty dictionary. So this is how clear can be used. Now next we are going to see the copy method of a dictionary. Again I am going to declare the dictionary D same way. Now I will make a copy into D1, which is new dictionary returned with the help of copy method. So D dot copy. Now it will return a shallow copy of D. What is the meaning of shallow copy? That we are going to see. Now we will check the memory reference of both the dictionaries. That is D1 is having memory reference this, and if I check ID of D, it will return me different. That means both are referring to different memory location. If I update any of the value from any of the dictionary, it will not affect the other dictionary. So if I change D of 1 equal to capital ONE1 instead of small 1, so it will update dictionary D only. So now if I print D, it will be updated. But now if I print D1, which is the copy of D, the original values will be there. It will not affect the D1, which is the copy. So this is the meaning of shallow copy. But now if I use the assignment operator equal to in order to make a copy, it will not make a shallow copy. Okay, both will refer to the same memory reference. That means if I am having D2 equal to D, instead of copy I am using over here assignment operator. Okay, now again I will check ID of D and I will check ID of D2. Okay, as you can see from here, you can confirm from here that both are referring to same memory location. So now if I try to change any of the value of D, it will affect D2 as well. So now I will modify D of 2 to capital TWO2. Okay, so now D is this, and what will be D2? It is same. Okay, so this is the meaning of shallow copy and difference between using the copy method and assignment operator. We will see from keys method of a dictionary, which will return a new dictionary from a given sequence. Okay, so we are see practically how to do that. We will have keys list as A, E. This is the list of vowels. O and U. Fine. So this will be our keys into our new dictionary. So now I'll be having name dict and I'll be using dict dot from keys, and within that I'll be specifying keys which is a list which will turn as a keys of my new dictionary. So now if I print my dict, or first of all I will type the data type of dict, it will return me a dictionary which is a dict. Now if I print, it will print with the all keys which we have specified in keys list, and values are defaulted to none as we have not specified. If we want our keys to be initialized with some specific values, then we will be using over here, suppose vowel. So this will be the value of our keys. So now let's print. So all the keys are defaulted to the string which we have specified. This is how we can create a new dictionary from keys. Now we will explore our next method, that is get. So if I want to extract any of the value of the given key in a dictionary, I'll be using square bracket, okay? But the problem which is faced using this methodology is, suppose I'm giving a which is existing key, it is going to give me the value. But if I specify something with the key which is not existing, then it is going to give me key error. If I want to get rid of this, I'll be using get method of the dictionary. So here I'll be using dict and get, I'll specify a which is existing key, so it is going to give me its value. But now if I specify over here z which is not existing key, then it is give me this, it will not give me the error. And if I want to default, with which it should tell me not existing, okay? So in case if the key is not existing, it will not give me any error, but it will give me appropriate message which is optional. So this is how we can use the get method. Now let us explore our next method, that is items, which will return a view object of our dictionary with key and value tuple pair. So now let us see, this is our dictionary car which is having name, age and gender as keys and respective values are there. Now if I say x equal to car dot items and then this, okay? So this is the view object which will return the key and value tuple pair. Now if any of the value of the dictionary is changed, the view object will get changed. So if I update any of the value of the existing dictionary, suppose name equal to ABC, okay? Now if I again display the view object x, it will reflect the change. Now my name initially was XYZ, which is updated to ABC. Similarly, we are having keys method which will return the keys of a dictionary. So here it will return y equal to car dot keys. So y is a view object which will store all the keys. So let us explore what is y. It is having name, age and gender. Now if any of the value of the original dictionary is changed, then it will be reflected to its view object. So if I update car, I'm using over here update method and I'm adding one more key value pair, that is subject is equal to Python. So this is new key value updated into my original dictionary car. So yes, I have to use over here colon. So now my car is having one more key value pair. Similarly, if I display now view object y, it will also have the new key which we have added. The very similar function is values. So if I specify over here car or r equal to car dot values, and r will be the view object which will have the list of all the values of a given dictionary. If I change any of the dictionary's key value, then it will be reflected by the view object. So if I update car and gender to female, then now car is having gender female. Similarly, if I want to print the value of r, it will be also reflected. So that's it for this session. I hope you have enjoyed the content that we have covered today. In next session we are going to explore more functions and methods of a dictionary, and we are also going to see how to iterate over dictionary. So till then, keep learning, and thank you for watching the video.